Hello, hello guys. Just wanted to quickly demonstrate the power of AI LLM along with model context protocol, which is a very new and upcoming trend in the market. So far, we've been seeing LLMs are very good at generating the text, summarizing it, and also with the growing intelligence, adding more and more parameters, it is giving more precise and accurate response based on the user request. But most of the time it's more on generation aspect based on the client request, either through a chat model or through some agentic workflows. But in order to make this generations talking to actions in a more autonomous and AI way, a new concept called model context protocol been implemented. I think it's been started 2024 or late, or it's been early 2025. Now it's growing interest because the demand of using MCPs, what they call MCP as model context protocol, is getting increasing with time. And I thought that's better. I can quickly demonstrate its power, and then we can leverage in our operational workspace if at all it is possible to implement. So in this current demonstration, I have used a small app which built under Python, a weather app which collects the weather details, and then it submits to an LLM, and LLM gets the response back. The whole idea here, MCP, is more of a doing aspect, which basically do some actions or call some routines, whereas LLM is like an artificial intelligent agent orchestrating and commanding for MCPs to function those duties. In summary, LLM is more of a uh, analyzer based on the request, and then it will instruct the tools which are sitting in MCPs. And MCP tools are more like actual functions that do some actions. So if I split these two um, entities separate, LLM is more of a generation and MCP is more of a actionable item. So with these two LLMs and MCP together, if you use an orchestration tool like LangChain or LangGraph or Crew AI, or we take the cursors, any of those orchestration tool you take and club these two, we can generate agentic workflows, which makes more autonomous in solving the problems. So that's the broader picture, but I'll just give the small demonstration for MCPs alone in tandem with LLM, how they are working. So I have an app called Weather AI. So I configured in as a Python running inside local weather app, and then that has if I just look at the code, yeah, it is going to the a generic service using HTTPS based call, and then it has two of the request, get the alerts and get the forecast. We'll get this a bit, but think that this is like a fusion of programming with some prompt engineering. LLM does not understand programming. Of course, it does understand programming, but it does not interpret that it has to exactly use this. It's more of a semantic search analysis versus a lexical. So it just basically look for more semantic analysis and then try to arrive at a specific conclusion to execute so it's a function call without me telling explicitly to execute that call. So this is in the MCP you specify tools, resources, and prompts. And tools are more functional items where you have defined a decorator of tools. Likewise, we can define the prompts for prompt engineering. We can also define prompts at the comments and docstring like how we have defined here. And then you have resources where you can give some reference documents. So let me execute first prompt. Okay. So let me submit this. So I'm calling my MCP server, which has been defined as my weather MCP server. So I'm calling for the server. Sometimes we don't need to specify which MCP server I need to use. Right now I'm using an LLM of 4.1 with an agent way, not a chat way. So it's more like an agent way. So it can able to call the agents. So agents are nothing but your MCPs are the servers, and then you're in the, from your IDE side you run the agents. These are the agents. The agents can talk to the servers and pull the information and then supply it to LLMs, and LLMs responds back to the agent and it supply back to the MCP server. That's how the flow goes. So if I run this now, what happened was whenever I start this MCP clients, MCP clients will talk to MCP server, extract all the prompts and the tools names available in that server, and give that information along with a user's question to the LLM. That's the first statement happens. And then LLM with those prompt information available in the MCP servers pulled by the MCP client submitted to the LLM with those information and the user's request. So I have requested what is the forecast of Oaks PA tomorrow? That's my question. And I said, okay, this is my LLM server. And it has also given the tools information and also uh, some prompts. So if I go back to my weather uh, applications, I have multiple functions like I have format alert, I have get alerts, I have get forecast. But out of all these functions, it picked up get alerts, get forecast, because I have given a prompt as get weather forecast for a location, and I'm asking some questions. So this question and this prompt is more semantic in nature. What is the forecast of Oaks PA, and get weather forecast for the location, and giving some additional arguments like yeah, it needs a latitude, longitude, and those are the things. I did not supply any latitude, longitude. So it has done three things. First thing, it has identified get forecast module. Good. And then it also identified based on Oaks PA, it it got the latitude longitude from external service without me supplying externally specifically latitude and longitude, and it has gone this information asking me to allow or skip. So let me run this. So when I ran that, the weather forecast of Oaks PA tomorrow Monday, which is tomorrow is Monday, is most likely uh, cloudy with a high of 37 degrees Fahrenheit and the light southwest winds around 0 to 5 miles per hour. Monday night will be mostly cloudy. Again, today is Sunday. I'm running this on Sunday, so that's why it's saying Monday. Whenever I press it, it could be whatever the date would be. But you got the point where it has summarized information which has pulled from this forecast, because get forecast might have given some JSON object which might have a lot of information along with Monday's forecast with few of the information which we are looking. But it has composed that information in the form of a text and has exactly printed out those returned values from this get forecast and formatted. It has get weather alerts for the United States. At this point it has some context. Yeah, it is running on a weather MCP server. It is running for Oaks and PA. So I'm asking, are there any alerts? That means it has to look for Oaks PA alerts. So that's a context. Um, it's a context window which retains memory, and then it has given an answer: no active weather alerts for Pennsylvania at this time. So because of PA have given the context, so it has referred the PA. Now let's say if I ask for get weather alerts of let's say New York, question mark. So now it has to go for weather alert and state New York, weather alert state New York, and now it is asking a question. Okay, so it has responded with some answers, some causing heavy snowfall. Oh my god, there's 4 to 10 inch of snowfall. Already another 2 to 6 inch expected. I don't know why so bad, but whatever. So weather in New York is going to be bad tomorrow. It's already bad, it's going to be worse. But in the context of New York, it has pulled the information. So that's about weather. I have built my own RAG system for ingesting a PDF doc and then storing into a local vector or an Oracle 23i database vector. So let me run this. So what I'm saying, okay, this is my MCP PDF. Read this PDF and store in local vector. So it simply has to read and store it in memory. If I go back to PDF, this is a PDF. So it has built on MCPs. So this has index PDF tool, which basically index the PDF, and then there is a search PDF, which basically is we can ask questions on top of it. So let me run this one. So it is a PDF of annual report of 2024 Amazon. Let's try to increase this window. Okay. So it has chunked into 648 chunks produced and stored. Okay. So now let's say I'll ask a question. Okay, so let me ask this question. Who is the CEO based from the annual report published in the year 2024? Also share some reference document. Okay. So CEO of annual Amazon, and according to the 2024 annual report, is Andrew Jassy. So let's see Andrew Jassy. Where is the report? I need to open the report once again. Amazon report. Report. So yeah, he's the president, and let's see what happens. What extra it says. So I want to see how Amazon is doing from the report. I'll ask this question. So this is very quick because it's vectorized semantically searching and getting the data back in very quick time. So it's saying, okay, there is 11% year over year and 638 billion in 2024, with operating income improving 86% year over year. Okay, so let's see the facts. I'll say 638 billion. So I'll just search for 638. 638 billion. 638 billion. So it's almost like 91-page document. So 11% year over year from 535 billion to 600. But so it has pulled this information from here and then also it has said 86% year over year. So let's see where is 86. So Amazon operating income in 2024 improved 86% year over year. So which means this information is more accurate and precise. Now let me add my I have let me add my resume and ask questions on myself. Let's say I'll ask who is so let me first upload the data into the rack. There is MCP server which I built, which is on rack 26A, which basically load the data. So let me open the rack 26AI. Open file 26AI rack main PDF. Open. So it basically indexed index PDF to Oracle. Instead of index PDF to memory, now it writes into a database, and then it reads from a database, query from a database. There are two tools. Okay, so I have to specify as okay, parse the PDF and save chunks embedding permanently 23A. I have to say parse and save. I can specify the information. Okay, and then I have a document. I go here. A document. Let's say I go here. A very old resume, like 10 years old resume, where I was been working on various projects. I was having 13 years experience back then. Okay, so this is some basic profile. If I ask the questions from here without uploading this information, LLM will not be able to answer because LLM is trained on a more public data. They don't know me. So let's add context to the LLM so that he can respond to my questions. So I'm giving my RAG Oracle 23 MCP, custom MCP server, and then I'll say, please upload this PDF and chunk into vector. Okay, I'll specify the PDF location. So where I'm very generically specifying. Okay. So here I'm specifying, okay, this is my MCP server and please upload this chunks. So let's see what it says. So it identified again the same, it identified the exact tool to use from this MCP server, and then it passed the path. But if you see my code here, it needs a path. That path is your file folder, okay, wherever the file is. So parse the PDF and save chunks embedding permanently to Oracle 23 database. Now it needs a path. So it is smart enough to pass this payload path colon so and so to this function. I'm saying, it start writing the chunks. Okay, this is standard out. So it takes some time. So I'll also have this so it did finish its processing. So let me open a okay, let me check the documents. So I have 23 records been uploaded. So let me see how those are. So it has been uploaded and so, and these are the chunking, and then you will have a vectors. You will have a vectors on the other end. Okay. Now I'll ask who 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 is Mukesh, and what give give top 5 tech top 5 projects he worked on. Very, I don't even know. Let's see how can answer. Yeah, it says, yeah, it says 13 years experience. That was correct. As it was in 2015, I was having 13 years experience. Um, Project management, yeah, Oracle development. Specialties, database as a service. Specialties, Oracle replication, hands-on experience. Let's say top 5 projects. I work for Wipro Internet, and then I have worked for global technologies. I have Oracle application technology, Metalize Blues, Golden Gate. Yeah, it gave a decent job based on my resume, how it was been cornered, but yeah, database engineering, service and consultation major projects. So I worked in these projects. Okay, let's say, did he worked in AI and ML techs tech? See, this is more of a which is right. Now let's upload. Please upload and chunk this doc. Let me upload one more doc. I've created one thing, GG server, as a GG server. This is again running remotely. So all the way it is. So far we've been running locally. Now it is a remote server, GG server. Let's pull the code from the GG server. Open file. GG server. Let me open this. So it is a GG server. It has this thing. Let's say I want to get the Golden Gate process information. So let's see. GG server. Get the Golden Gate process info. I can say info. Now here there are two things. I ask for specifically retrieve status information of Golden Gate microservices. This is good. And then I said format. And then I said okay. Process type. You have to pass the process type. Is it could be an extract or it could be a replicate. Okay. At least I said okay. You have to pass extract and replicate. But extracts are replicate for info. It could be an extract or it could be a replicate. Okay. Because we have extract and replicate both, so it has looking for both. So I'll say let me allow this, and let me allow this also. So the answer is right. So it went through LLM with the prompts and with the prompts and the tools and the resources. It went to took the data from this GG server client, which is running on a running on a VM on the server in the same machine, which is having Golden Gate running, which is talking to 23i database under the hood. All are integrated extract and replicates. So it ran the REST API call through MCP tool, which basically extracted data and then reported back to LLM via MCP client, and LLM has formatted this information in this format. Let's say stop extract P05 CDC. Let's see, and I'll in the meanwhile open this. Uh, okay, so I have one extract and 5 replicates. So let me run check this. I'm asking to stop and extract. So it has picked up manage golden gate process, and it is running manage golden gate process. Let's say, okay. Oh, it did. It did already. It did. Yeah, it did. It stopped it. So let me start. Start. I'll not say extract. Let's say if it picks up or not. Let's say start P05 CDC. It started. Oh, it started. See, understand the context here, guys. So I said in the first phase, I said stop extract name. So extract and EP05CDC, they got semantically together in the statement because I have passed this question. Now EP05CDC also an extract for an LLM. In the um, second time I didn't mention extract, I just say the process name. It for an API to function, you need to specify it's an extract type or replicate type. But it intelligently infer based on the previous context memory data, and it has submitted this extract process also an extract process type as a payload back to the MCP server, and MCP server fired the particular query. Now if I go back to my code, manage golden gate process, it has two arguments, process name and process type. But I only gave a process name and the process time was inferred from here, and that's where the LLM smarter to process this kind of complex request and then start and then uh, complete the action. And say report for EP05 CDC. Now I'm asking for a report. So it has to get process. Okay, it has picked up a write module, write tool, and then let me see. I'm asking for a report. Okay, so it says, okay, this version is 23.4 running on Linux 4, description CDC, Oracle database 23 AI captured from this, status successfully running, started running with proper parameters using hardware tables, and then have a last transaction commit. So it has some summary of report, right? So which means it is also giving view report. Okay, so so the report has came fine, the Golden Gate report, which basically fired a Golden Gate report API, which report the process like view report, and then it summarized that report with some high level details. We usually look for errors. We can summarize the report. It might the way we can use is rather than looking for the complete report, we can look for specific OGG errors and the messages of those errors, because we usually look for those in the report, and those we can extract from the programming and then submit to only those kind of tokens back to the LLM so that it can summarize the data and give back to us in more instant way. So that way we can use this. Let me I have also added one more server called Prometheus. Now this one, Prometheus, is running outside. It's not running locally. It's running on a different server. And again, the same MCP. Again, this is all local, even the server is local. It's running on a different machine. So let me say, look for Prometheus remote remote uh, remote server. Okay, here I'll ask for what is the peak usage, what is the peak load in past 12 hours. This is again, I'm asking a very generic term. There is no peak load metric. There is no peak load metric. I have not given much of the prompts also, so it will fail, of course, but it has constructed well. So there's no peak load concept. So let me try to take this Prometheus server. So let me go back to the Prometheus server 192.168. Okay, 10.9090 Prometheus server, and let me look at load node load. So I can use this node load. Okay, I can give some context. So what about node load in past 24 hours? See, node load, it still didn't get it because it has node load 1. So I'll skip this. Okay. What about node load 1 in past 3 days? So now it got some context, and it has 72 hours lookup. And the earlier context I said peak load, so it has a peak load. I asked for peak in last 3 days, so it says 10, around 10, but most of the readings were between 0.0 and 0.1, so indicating generally low system load, brief spikes. Now if I go back to the graph and I say 3 days, 3 days, yep, I do see a spike of almost 10, between 9 and 10, and that's where it is reporting. That's where it is reporting as 1082 is a peak, which seems to be right. Last 3 days we have a spike. So that's all about MCPs and how they operate. See, what I was thinking is, now this is all a chat model where user is asking questions, LLM is responding to questions. Yeah, before I go there, I want to also tell some of the pitfalls of not drawbacks, but as an awareness. So any questions we ask, because LLMs are the model running in outside of our data center, somewhere in Azure data center, because this Copilot, GitHub Copilot is, I think, hosted by Azure. So all the data, whatever we ask for, the metadata goes back to the data center, their LLM process, and whatever the outcome of the LLM will send back to us, and then we are seeing that, and those are based on the outcomes, it will do some actions using MCPs, which is sitting locally in our systems. It's not in public internet, it's in local. And this can be non-internet facing, because if you see this Prometheus server, this is sitting inside my server, which doesn't have an internet access. This server doesn't have an internet access, but from this laptop I can talk to the server. From this laptop I can connect to the internet. So there is way for it to work. Now whatever the MCP servers is doing, it's doing locally on the server. It is not sending any data out. It is only sending data to the client. Now, whenever we ask any data, that data obviously go to the LLM. Whatever the outcome of the MCP servers which is written to the client will also go back to the LLM. So there could be a situation where some data might go back to the LLM. Again, that's a contractual obligations between the company and the hosting services. They are not making or sharing this IP data to anyone. But because we on the operational space, we don't deal with any sensitive data. We all care about all system level metrics, our operations. We never deal with actual functional data, so it's again safe. But to be aware that no, this is an external facing uh, um, entity. Now, LLM itself is so huge, and because I've ran the LLM in local as well using OLAMA and Llama 3 billion parameters on the same machine. It really struggles. The simple reason is it needs minimum 3 GPUs. I have 2 GPU machine, but still it struggles. It hallucinate. Now you're comparing with 600 billion parameter model, which is ChatGPT 4.1 is 600 billion parameter model versus a 3 billion parameter model. Obviously, it will not able to give that precise information. It's slow because of resources. It hallucinate because it's not powerful model. Again, it's all local. So what we can use locally, I have used locally the vectorization embeddings. Um, that runs perfectly fine. It is cheap. It is light. It is simple, and it is universal. So we can embed any data in the database. Now, how do we make use of embeddings? Is what we next we need to think. Um, anyway, so those are the awareness I need to tell, and at the same time, a few more points I need to add. Uh, this is all a chat model. A user is requesting something, and the LLM and MCPs behind the scene are giving the information out. Uh, but what if a machine is asking the questions, and then LLM and MCPs are functioning for us rather than a user is sitting and chatting? So that flow is more agentic workflows where we can build a framework using LangChain or LangGraph or Crew AI and create a kind of workflow where it does a specific task which make use of all these three components and do the desired results. It's more autonomous way where user is not sitting and doing it. Some AI is doing work for us. That is the next level thought process, which I will try to experiment and come back with a second level demonstration. Thank you. Bye.